Hello, everyone. My name is Alane Freund. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in California and a member of the International Consultants on High Sensitivity. We're a group of consultants who have been trained by Elaine Aron, and we're 100% committed to basing our comments and our work with highly sensitive people in the science and sticking to the integrity of the science behind our trait. Today, we're here to talk a little bit about creating an HSP-friendly space. So we'll go around, and I'd like to start off by introducing my colleague, Elsa Marie Brunner.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elsa Marie, and I am Swedish nationality, but I live in the French-speaking part of Switzerland. So I speak French and Swedish, and if anybody needs to contact me, I have two web pages. One in Swedish, which is hsperson.se, and one in French, which is hsperson.fr. However, I am not a coach or a psychologist or a therapist. I'm just consider myself a little bit knowledgeable about high sensitivity. And I think it is important to have the honor to talk today because highly sensitive people, we need to create space in this dramatic times where everything is upside down for many of us. For me personally, nothing has really changed, but many have suddenly their non-HSP partners or children at home, and it's important just to be stable and keep calm and keep the stress level low so that we can cope with the others. With the whole situation, actually. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jacquelyn Strickland, and I'm coming to you from Fort Collins, Colorado. I am a licensed professional counselor, and I've been working with highly sensitive people, gosh, since 2000, and do the HSP gathering retreats. You can reach me at lifeworkshelp.com or Jacquelyn at HSP Gathering Retreats. This is a timely topic, time and space for the HSP. There is so much going on in the world, so much on social media, which can just be overwhelming, trying to discern what are facts, what is true, what is real. And so for me, I think it's really important that we come together and do honor our HSP trait by honoring time during the day to create what I'm calling time and space so that you can recalibrate your energy and your wise priestly advisor self. Even though you might be struggling and even though you might be anxious, I think there's moments where we can soothe ourselves in what I'm calling your HSP inner sanctuary. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second.
Hi. I am Lian Kirksæther from Norway, and I've been working with highly sensitive people for many years, and especially with women. I'm a coach, lecturer, and I have also authored the Norwegian book, Sensitive and Strong. And I love to work with people and sensitive people, and especially in this time. And that's also very interesting because I heads the Norwegian organization Hoysensitiv Norge, and we got a lot of people that want to take contact and ask a lot of questions and need help and just want to talk to other highly sensitive people. And that especially in this time with the children at home, the parents are working at home, they are all together at home and mostly inside the house, and that can be quite difficult, especially for the highly sensitive people, to get the space for themselves. And that's also more difficult if the other ones are not highly sensitive. So I want to talk more about that.
Thanks, Lian. Speaking for me here. I'm Elaine Freund. I'm in California in the United States. I love that we're an international group and that we have so many languages spoken in our group. And that many of us are administrators on the Elaine Aron and High Sensitivity Facebook page, Facebook group. And so you can join us there as well. I've been a psychotherapist for almost 3 decades, and in these videos, I'm not functioning as a therapist because I can only do that within my state. So more a coach and a consultant and a student of high sensitivity, as probably many people watching this video are. You can reach me at my website, alanefriend.com, or for my Are You Highly Sensitive live webinars at areyouhighlysensitive.com. And I think we're all on Facebook, so I hope you'll come and find us on Facebook and interact with us there. HSPs, well, all my family are HSPs, but there's 3 of us in a small home and not a small apartment. Luckily, we can be outside, and especially as the weather improves. But I noticed that we have kind of warring sensitivities, if you know what I mean. You know, this bothers me and that bothers you. And in our last conversation, we started talking about HSPs. We need to advocate for ourselves and to take care of ourselves in this time when we feel a little cramped in. So that's why I'm here today.
Hi there, I'm Barbara Alane. You can Google me, Barbara Alane, at Growing Unlimited. I work in the UK and I've been working with HSPs for about 20 years. My interest in the topic today is based on the need that we always have, but that has become more important lately, which is to have a space within which we can meet the needs that are natural for us. And one of those needs is to have quiet time, quiet space, reflective space. So the environment that we're in as HSPs, we're so affected by our environment. It's how our trait shows itself. So now that we're being safe at home for some time, for some of us, this has become quite an urgent topic to address. So I'm looking forward to hearing what others are going to say about how we manage to carve out a space that works for us as well as everyone else inside our homes.
Thank you. So now we're going to go around and just each of us will share a couple minutes about strategies that either we're using ourselves or that we know have worked for HSPs that we've helped. We'll start again with you, Elsa Marie.
Yes. We highly sensitive people are used to considering other people rather than ourselves. But now I think time has come for us to think of ourselves, because then we can become strong and we can lower the stress level and we can help the others and be good for others. Because if we are stressed and freaked out, then our highly sensitive children will pick it up and they will not feel safe or secure. So we have to set boundaries, and in doing so, we have strategies of finding space for ourselves, maybe more importantly now than other days in normal times. So it can be that you just inform your family members that you need some downtime, and you can decide when and say, I'll be back in a moment, to really be on your own. So you can also create a corner or a space in your house or in a room which is really yours, where you can feel, wow, here I am and I'm not being disturbed and this is just for me, even if it's not very long, but that is important. Yeah, I think, and also regularity, to create a regularity during the day, to have, to maybe get up at a certain time and lunch at 1 and then this, and then we do activities with the children or not, etc. So that it feels as if it's normal, so to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to when my children were young and at home, and how it might be if that were the case today. And I fall back on, the things that I intuitively did as a mother, which was we had regular family meetings where everyone came with what are they thinking, feeling, and needing. And we had a topic such as, it seems to be chaotic in our house, everyone's getting irritable with one another, and we're we're not respecting boundaries. So that would be a topic. So everyone comes with what are they thinking, feeling, and needing, so that collectively the family can come up with solutions which meet everyone's needs. And then what I do as an adult that I think we can also role model for our children is I have a daily, what I call my HSP inner sanctuary. For children, that could simply be quiet time. And my HSP inner sanctuary is where I meditate, where I pray, where I process my thoughts, feelings, and needs. And then I also I taught my children, and I think this is a beautiful thing to do for adults, is to find 3 to 6 times a day where you create or you find what I've called HSP interludes of happiness. And for me, an example of that is in the morning, the sun shines in the window in a certain way at a certain time. It's my time and space to go there, be embraced and engulfed by that beautiful sunlight and feel warm and just feel the beauty of that. And then from EMDR, we have resourcing where you can actually tap in that feeling of warmth and that feeling of peace for just that moment, which will then create new neural networks in your brain. So my other 3 to 6 times, yesterday, one of my best times for this HSP interlude of happiness was going up to a ridge in our town and watching the moon rise. There were several other people up there. We had our lawn chairs. So the moon is rising and I'm getting this beautiful connected feeling with the world. And I'm tapping it in so that I can feel connected. And you can teach your children that. You can teach them these simple ways to enjoy the simplest ways of being happy. There's many more interludes of happiness that you can do. In the morning, I also listen to the birds. I take 90 seconds to close my eyes and hear them and be grateful for them. So I think it's really important for 3 to 6 times a day to just look for those and create them and get away from social media.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's so interesting to hear all the good advice you have. And I think it's very important to have something that you get happy from, that you love to do. Maybe you can create something, or you can paint, write, read, or see a movie that you really get good feelings of it, or go for a walk if it's possible for you, just to get your space, your lookout from the other ones. You just tell the other ones what your need is, or you just have your short time or a longer time. And if it's possible, also together with the family, something all of you can enjoy together without getting stressed and tired of it. And of course, music, if it's okay for you, meditate, or just get your time, because that's quite easy for HSP people to forget it or see that other ones are more important. So every day, be sure to get your own time.
I've been taking notes. It's very good. I need all this help. Thank you. I think that I'm going to speak to the parents, and maybe especially parents of young children, but here's my policy on this, that our minds are our children. Even if you don't have children in your house, I don't know about you, but my brain requires a lot of parenting. Otherwise, it can kind of get out of my control. And so what's so important for me as an adult, but also for parents and for highly sensitive children or all children, is structure. Structure, structure, structure. I have a friend who says she gets up every morning and blow dries her hair and puts on her makeup. And she might still have her pajama pants on, but she's getting up and getting going. And I think that's really important. My structure for parenting is the same as for myself, in that every day I need to exercise. And I think it was Barbara who was speaking in our last conversation about how when you start to have anxiety, it gets sort of trapped in your body and you need to discharge it or change your body chemistry. And I do that a lot through exercise. I also structure time in my day for meditation. Now, if everybody in the house is going insane while I'm meditating, it's not going to work for me. Now, I know really experienced meditators can meditate no matter what's going on around you. That would not be me. So I need to have some peace and quiet. So sometimes that means actually I go down and sit in my car. And I might even listen to my recorded book for one of my breaks in my car. But where is that place that you can get away? Another thing is, whether your children are nap age or not, and whether you take naps or not, I think everybody needs nap time. And that to me is quiet time alone. So I would love to see people have your family meeting that Jacquelyn suggested and establish a certain time in the day when it's quiet in your home. I just want to also address really quickly the idea of food. My dad told me he lost 8 pounds because he's not going to fast food right now. I think for me, I tend to eat when I'm bored, and I'm definitely a sugar addict. So I'm having to be really structured and encouraging my family to be really structured around how we eat, that we eat for both physical health, but also psychological and emotional health. I'll stop there.
Yes.
Yeah, this is such an important topic, really. I think for me, what I think we need most to do is to remember that we are that part of the population that's supposed to hold the wisdom. Mm-hmm. And yes, we might be letting a lot of things make our brains sort of overactivate with worries and be disturbed by all the noises and the changes that are happening. But if you look at what's happening to HSPs, I would say probably about half of them are far more alone at the moment than they used to. And that's not a bad thing for highly sensitive people. We've probably been crying out for the quiet, the peace, the reflection time. And then there are the others of us who are stuck at home with people who don't understand how our nervous system works. And historically and culturally, as minorities, we've probably put our own needs to one side a little bit more than most people have had to, partly because we respond so quickly to other people's needs, and partly because we see the bigger picture sometimes and we will put our own needs aside for that reason. And so what I would encourage people to do is to take this opportunity really to see the bigger picture. Being at home with your family and having the opportunity for a family meeting now and again to sort out a few things is a wonderful thing to be able to put in place. What other opportunities do we have to be the emotional leaders, the spiritual leaders that we are designed to be? I really think this is a time when it's okay to take leadership, because there's a lot of distress out there, there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of chaos. And actually, in general, highly sensitive people are pretty good at picking up on that, and they know what to do because we've thought about all these things before. We just have to remember we have done that. So yes, I think referring to our own inner wisdom, giving it space, and then reaching out with that wisdom to help to guide the ship while things are not exactly as everyone would like them. Have a bit of faith in your own abilities.
What a great circle you are. I'm so honored to be a part of this circle, you all. But Barbara, you reminded me of something I was supposed to say at the beginning, which is, HSPs are full of wisdom. We really are. And so I said this in a previous circle that we had. Please comment, HSPs. Use your emotional leadership. Whether you're seeing this on Facebook or on YouTube, please share your advice and wisdom with everybody who's in this community, because you're not actually alone. You're part of this massive community, 20% of the world. And I want to ask everyone to treat the comment section as a brainstorm where all comments and ideas are welcome and none are wrong. And so just to be kind to the highly sensitive people of the world, and please, come on, share your wisdom with us. I really want to see it. Now we're going to wrap.
And I'd like to just say one thing about that, Alane, because sharing our wisdom and our emotional leadership is always important to me, whether it's during a pandemic or not, because I truly believe what is good for the HSP is good for the whole. So you know, we can take emotional leadership in our family, and what's good for us is going to be good for I think most everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to go around the circle now and officially wrap up, and maybe you have another gem to share, or just something for the HSPs.
Well, I think each one of us can find what suits us, but the main thing I think is to be, I wanted to say strong, but I mean to be balanced and not stressed, because then we can kind of help the others which we are really made for also. So another thing that I forgot to say is also to try to be in the present moment, because in the present moment there is no anxiety and nothing. It's just the moment, and that can be interesting for the whole family, and if you have children, etc., to just see what you're feeling and smelling and hearing, etc., and go ahead there. Wow.
Yeah, and I would just kind of close with this idea of which we talk about. It's one of the mottos at the HSP gathering retreats, which is focus on needs, not approval. And in that, make sure that you are differentiating your needs from, well, needs can sometimes be activated by fear. So if fear comes into a need, make sure that you are able to bring in facts to balance what you're thinking, feeling, and needing, and make sure that you're not allowing your emotions or your needs to be overwhelmed with fear or anxiety. Recalibrate back down to your center.
I would like you to think about, if you're around a lot of people, your family, and doing nothing is also okay. That can just be sitting there, relaxing. You don't have to help anyone. You don't have to wash. You don't have to make dinner or do something special. Just do nothing and just relax and do what makes you happy. And one thing I've forgotten in the beginning to say, if you want to call me, or you can go into my website, liank.no.
Oh, that's right. Barbara, go ahead, because I already kind of spoke.
Well, I have to say, just something that came up for me sort of towards the end. I've been having some feelings throughout this talk, really. And one of the feelings I had was wanting to put a clown's red nose on and go, wah! And I think what I would like to say is, it's also okay to be silly. I think HSPs are great at being silly. We have a wonderful sense of humour. And I think there are lots of ways in which we can just let rip and be silly and not behave ourselves all the time. And I think that would be also a very wise thing to do. And it might sound like it's the opposite of being wise, but I can tell you that the older you get and the wiser you get, the more you know how important it is to be very silly sometimes. So I would encourage you to take the time sometimes to lighten up and remember that these things will pass and everything will be okay.
I love that, Barbara. It makes me think of, you know, a family meeting and coming up with solutions of, let's play a charade game, acting out how the pandemic is affecting you. I think that would be so fun, and wear costumes or wear red noses or whatever. I love that idea.
Yeah.
So, thank you all so much for joining us in this conversation. We hope to have many more, and we hope that there's some value here in what we've shared. Again, please do share with us. We want to hear from you, and so do everybody who is looking. So does everybody who's watching this video. So please come along and join us in this conversation, and let's just keep reframing. You know, if you have a negative statement in your head about what's going on right now, what's the opposite of that statement? And I've heard a lot from you all today about your opposites, how wonderful it is that we get to be quiet or have less pollution or save the planet. So thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Hey, thanks.
See you
Thanks, everybody. Lovely to
Yeah.
see you all. Mwah.